You don't always feel inflammation. You'll learn to feel it, but you'll feel the causes a lot. It looks like this: aches, pains, cravings, fat gain, low energy, slow results. Most people just try to ram health and just kind of jam it into their life in some form of wellness routine. It's really difficult. You've got you've got your partner, you've got your kids, you've got your life, you've got your social settings, you've got your mental health. There's a whole bunch of things that we're trying to integrate together. So it's no wonder why people struggle to stay on top of it, because it's not just one thing. It's one thing that's interwoven into 10 to 15 other things that change on a day-to-day, weekly basis. So give yourself a bit of an out, but let's actually discuss on how we can get you in front today. So this is my favorite little analogy. We've got a little cliff here. Unfortunately, it's just the way it is, but there will be a time when we have to say goodbye to all the people that we love, and they'll have to say goodbye to us too. At that time, we don't know when it is, and we don't know how we'll be when we get there. But there are definite things that we can do to change the paradigm on what that looks like. You can either be this beautiful blue vintage car, top down, polished, you know, the people that take beautiful care of those vintage vehicles, or we can be this red rust bucket, broken windows. I think it's only got one tire up here, the paint's stripped. How you get to the end of your life, one, the duration on when you get there, and two, the quality of who you are when you get there. It depends on our day-to-day, week-to-week habits. So you get stressed. We all know what it feels like. I'm sure we've all had it. We've all just discussed it. You've got really acute stress that's life-threatening. Stand on the road and the car comes, your body will just react for you, right? You get that huge jolt of adrenaline, and then you'll get the shakes. That's your body's stress system kicking in. What's gonna kill you more, in terms of the car analogy, is low-grade stress, non-life-threatening stuff, the stuff that happens every day. Your brain signals, it's always looking for you. It's trying to keep you alive. It hasn't quite caught up with that. We're a reasonably safe society these days. It activates this pathway: hypothalamus, pituitary, adrenal axis. It's just 3 organs in the body that stimulate your stress response, or one of the stress response. And it comes down to this little adrenal gland that's on your kidneys, the master stress response. You've got 2 sides of your nervous system. You've got this side here that does everything to do with resting. That's one side. You've got the other side, which is fight or flight. If they work in unison, there's no issue. This is kind of what we normally see. It's not quite in balance like a standard seesaw. It's completely dominant, with the sympathetic nervous system just jacked up all the time, because most people's days look pretty stressful. They get up to an alarm. I don't know about you, but my kids were up early this morning. I've got 2 kids under 2.5, so I'm just stressed out all the time. They're a bit cranky. Then you have a coffee. Then you're rushing to get them to daycare, or you're just rushing. You've got work emails coming through. Then you get on transport. Maybe you get in traffic. You have a deadline that day. Your boss is pretty shitty and annoying. Your colleagues are just as annoying. A deadline's kicked in, work emails have kicked in. A bunch of those sound like most people's standard days to varying degrees. And all you're doing every time you do that is stress, HPA axis, nervous system, sympathetic. And we just run this system all day long. It's a really important system. It's actually the system that got you out of bed this morning, just so you know. It's super important. It just can't be on all day, every day, 7 days a week for a decade. You run into real problems when that is the case. And it does the thing that we want to fight the most, which is inflammation, which is going to be the thing that's going to get you in front of your health. So I want to talk to you about the classic inflammatory journey. Processed foods, chronic stress, inflammation, and hormonal imbalances. They hurt your gut. Your gut hates you for it. You'll get leaky gut. Leaky gut just means the cells in your gut lining just come apart, and they expose you from the inside into your gut. From here, you get toxins that are released into your bloodstream. More inflammation ensues. You actually hurt your metabolic hormones in this one. So specifically, something called insulin and leptin resistance kicks in, which just means you get more cravings, which is unfortunate. And it actually stops fat burning, which means you store more fat and you feel more tired. So how do we impact your goals? Every single time you hinder fat loss, I'd almost guarantee you're breaking down muscle at the same time, because they work, unfortunately, as a terrible duo together. You have all sorts of hormone fluctuations and energy crashes. And long term, not only will it not be great for your aging and the quality, it will affect every goal that you have. So what does anti-inflammatory nutrition looks like is probably more important. It's good quality food. 80% green whole foods is what I'm looking for. If it's grown in the ground, if it's lean meats, it's probably good for you. When you eat, you need to eat every 3 hours. Some people are like, no, but I fast and I'm not hungry. And I need to stoke your metabolism again. I need to make sure your inflammation is not riding that roller coaster all day. And protein is the most important thing you can eat. But let me give you some reasons why. It's the most important macronutrient because the first 50% of your protein intake will then go towards immune function, because it's more important than anything else. If you don't have immunity, it's very difficult to stay alive. And most people undereat their protein. So when I track and get in touch with people and individualize their programs, I need 30% of your total day to be protein. People are like, oh, I think I'm pretty good with protein. You're probably not, if I'm being honest with you. Most people are 15% of their day. If they're vegan and vegetarian, it's normally single digits. I don't care how people eat per se, but I care about the protein that they consume. One, you need to support your immune system, especially if you're constantly on this inflammatory journey on every system in the body. It means you need even more protein than you do when you're not inflamed. And you're under eating your protein. And people are like, I don't understand why I can't lose fat and build muscle. Like, it's just like, well, you know, we're near your protein threshold for the day. It also helps your hormones balance. That's really important. It also keeps you fuller for longer. It helps your carbohydrates not cause a blood sugar spike. It also is one of the biggest metabolic regulators of your body. Protein is super, super important. And it doesn't mean meat by any means, but it does mean protein daily. If you hit that target, a lot of your nutrition issues go away, and you need to limit some inflammatory foods. The less inflammatory foods you eat, of course, the better you'll feel. Coffee, not great for inflammation. Alcohol, terrible for inflammation. Simple processed carbohydrates, terrible for inflammation. If it comes in a packet, it's probably not great for you. Here's how I want you to eat. For your total protein, 2 grams per kilogram of body weight. That's how much you need in your diet every single day. Now, I know most people aren't gonna track and measure, and I get that, but everyone's got a palm. So it kind of looks like this. Come on up with your palm. I'm gonna look it against the wall, measure your own. That is the fatness of protein you should have in your meals, that fat. Everyone's will be different too. I've tracked and measured. I've done this with hundreds of people. This will get you about 80% of your macros anyway, and 80% is enough. It's normally enough to keep people consistent and get great goals without tracking and measuring every single day, which is cumbersome and it really hinders your relationship with food. And if you're doing more lentils and vegan things, it's a fist. If we get your thumb, that is how much fat you need, just there. It's not a lot of fat. It's about 10 almonds. I don't eat nuts, not that they're not healthy for you. I can't stop at 10. So I just don't have them in my diet. For people that tell me that they're eating well all the time, they're overeating their fat constantly. Fat is super calorie dense comparatively to protein and carbohydrates, and it's super easy to overeat. It's in eggs, it's in salmon, it's in avocado, it's in the oils that you eat, it's everywhere, it's in the nuts that you're snacking on. And when I see someone's food record, I'm just like, yep, I know exactly what's going on. We're 500 to 1,000 calories over. Even though it's healthy, calorifically, it's just too high. So it's not a lot of fat. And carbohydrates and vegetables is just a fist or a cup if you've got one, right? I'll take as many vegetables that aren't starchy as you want, but I'll take a minimum of 1 if we can. That's a huge improvement for people. Starchy vegetables, potatoes, sweet potato, pumpkin, Swedes, parsnips, great. A fist on the plate is all you need. So you have a palm of protein, a tablespoon or a thumb of fat, like a quarter avocado, a fist of carbohydrates and a fist of vegetables. You'll have the right macronutrient profile to get the protein in, get enough fiber, get all the micronutrients that are gonna fight inflammation, and have the right level of carbohydrates to give you the benefit of them without going excessive.